Today's topic, the new you under attack. Hi, I'm Doug Holt, author of Your Own Story, and this is your Daily Growth Hack, where each day we give you a tip, trick, or insight to help you up-level what we call the 5 to Thrive. That is your mind, your body, your soul, your relationships, and your business. So as you're developing this author of your own story lifestyle, as you're evolving and you're doing these daily growth hacks, and hopefully you're putting in the work, I really hope you are. As you're doing this, you're going to start noticing things to change. And what you may start to notice is something that many of us notice, and that is the people around you start to push back. They start to subconsciously sabotage what you're doing. Now, this could be negative comments like, "Oh, you'll never do that," or "You shouldn't be doing that," or "What the heck are you doing?" These types of comments come naturally, and it should be understood. You see, people are comfortable with the old you. They're comfortable with the you that doesn't have a voice. They're comfortable with the you that didn't take control and be the author of their own story. Now you're on this path of change, this path of rapid growth. It's exciting. You're changing, but their paradigm is still stuck on the old you. You see, oftentimes people are uncomfortable with change. They have a story written about you. I mean, how many times when you look back on your life, do you run into maybe an old high school friend or somebody else you went to college with or somebody you knew years ago? You still might have the same frame of reference of that person. Now, this happened to me recently where I ran into somebody I went to college with, and I haven't seen them probably in 15 years. Now, they were a partier. They had a great time going out, but they really hit it hard. And when I ran into them, I thought of them as the exact same person. Now, step forward 15 years later, they have a family, they're very responsible, they don't drink, or do drugs, or party at all. They're a completely different person. Yet, my paradigm was stuck in the past old them, until I realized quickly in my actions and my comments towards them that I was relating to the old version of them, the version that I knew and was comfortable with. Now, we may move through this very quickly, but most people don't. Most people don't have the realization that you can change, that you are changing, you're evolving all the time. And what it does is it scares them. And it scares them for multiple reasons. And this is also why a lot of people fail on their own journey to becoming the author of their own story, because they know themselves as the old them. Now, when you do a change or you do some changes in your life, these could be prosperity changes. You start to make more money. But yet the people around you are comfortable with you being kind of the broke old self that you had, and now you have more prosperity and wealth. Or maybe you're learning a foreign language and they're scared that you're becoming better than them and that you're going to leave them. Or more than likely, they're scared because you're putting into their face through your positive actions the things that they are not doing now, the things that they want to be doing with their life, but they're making excuses. And seeing you grow scares them. It scares them because, one, they're probably worried they're going to lose you. Two, they're really scared because they're not doing the things they know they should be doing to become the authors of their own story. But don't let these people tear you down. As Dr. Wayne Dyer said, it's not crowded on the extra mile. And that is so true. As you're on your journey, it's not crowded on the extra mile because people that have scarcity mindsets aren't there. My wife and I go hiking all the time. And oftentimes we kind of begrudgingly make it through the first 10 minutes of our hike where all the crowds of people are. But once we get past that first mile or two, the crowds dissipate. In fact, once we get higher up the mountain, we hardly see anybody. And the people we do run into are always smiling. They always say hello and genuinely ask how we're doing. Because it's that type of people that are at the top. It's that type of person that takes that extra step to get there. And those are the kind of people you want to surround yourself with. Now, this doesn't mean that you should be putting them down, the people you're currently associating with or the people around you. And also doesn't mean you should leave them. It just means you need to recognize and understand that they're in a scarcity mindset. They're scared because they're not doing the right things. They've also associated you with the old you that they're comfortable with. You'll see they're very comfortable with you being in a job you don't like or making little money or whatever it is for you. Maybe you're overweight and they're just comfortable with that. And they're scared that you're going to make changes. And you're going to make changes and you're going to leave them. Or they're scared you're going to make changes and they're going to see that they're not making any. they're not progressing themselves. It's just a natural human reaction. So I want you to recognize this as you're going through your journey. So we've almost taped 70 of these daily growth hacks. That's a lot of things to do. If you've done all the 70 things that I've brought out here and mentioned to you, I guarantee you've made massive changes, and I'm proud of you. And if during these changes, I can also guarantee that there have been people in your life, at your workplace, in your family, loved ones, friends, that have actually started to subconsciously tear you down. You see, they've noticed the changes and it makes them uncomfortable. It's not familiar. They don't recognize that it's the new you. You're learning every day, you're growing every day, and you're going after your passions and your dreams. I'm proud of you, and I'm here right now to let you know this is not a red flag. This is just simply a breadcrumb on the road to success. It's natural and it happens often. The best thing to do is love these people. Love them wholeheartedly and then lead by example. Show them your greatness. Show them what you're doing and inspire them to do the same. That's one of the reasons I do this every single day, is to inspire others. Look, my mission is to inspire or positively impact 1 million people in this world. And I hope I'm doing this day by day, little by little, and eventually I'll achieve my goal. You can help me by doing the same. Inspire those around you and don't worry about the haters. The haters are going to come left and right, and most of them are going to be people you actually love and care. And you know what? They love you too. They're just scared. So what I want you to do today is grab your journal, write out your 5 to Thrive, of course, and look at areas that you're growing, that you're making growth. And what I want you to do is look closely at these, because oftentimes we don't see the own growth in ourselves. We don't see our own journey because we see ourselves day to day in the mirror. And those micro progressions make the biggest effect over time. We just don't recognize them. And usually we see this growth or these changes when we run into an old friend at the supermarket or out for a walk or wherever it may be, and they see us and they're like, wow, you've changed, you've lost weight, you're glowing, something's radiant about you. What is it? That's when we notice. But I want you to grab your 5 to Thrive and write down areas that you've changed. But then I also want to write down any negative comment you've had recently as you've been on this growth spurt. I want you to look at that comment and embrace it, because it's not true. These are comments from people of scarcity. These are comments for people who are scared to make it that extra mile. So it's not crowded on the extra mile because only good achievers, high achievers make it that extra mile, that take that extra step. Most people break down because the old them, the paradigm of the old them is too powerful. I want you to recognize this new you, this path that you're on. It's powerful, and I celebrate you for being on it with me. That's it for me today. Go over to authorofyourownstory.com, sign up for our newsletter, and also get on that waiting list if you haven't already. Now, if you've been listening to this, you should be on that waiting list already. It's filling up quickly, but we want you to be on that waiting list for the Author of Your Own Story University launching soon. We are so excited to bring this to you. Go out and be the author of your own story. I hope you enjoyed today's Daily Growth Hacks. Please put your comments right down below, and remember to click subscribe. This way we can ensure that we're delivering these Daily Growth Hacks right to you each and every day. On behalf of the whole team here, remember, go out and be the author of your own story.